We are glad to still have you on the main interview segment of the New Dawn of today, and the second segment we will be focusing on small and medium-scale enterprises. We want to look at the funding opportunities that we have in that sector and how those opportunities can be turned to development in that sector. And so our guest this morning, OSIYEMI, is the president of OGUNCCIMA, and the second guest on the studio with us is ALHAJI WASIU OLALEYE, the president of Ogun State Corporation Federation. I want to welcome you to the program, gentlemen.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Unlocking funding opportunities for MSMEs, that's a micro, small, and medium enterprises. There are over 40 million population and contributing about 50% of Nigerians' GDP. Now, with the surging inflation, calls for help, where are we in all of this, and what kind of support do you think the MSMEs should receive right now? Well, starting with ALHAJI WASIU OLALEYE.
Well, thank you very much. Just as you gave that data, that the micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria employed over 80% of the population. Let me say the workforce in Nigeria. It is very, very correct. Now we even added nano businesses, those that are just one-man business, like a vegetable seller that employ herself and probably the children after the school. So now the inflation, is making their capital to disappear. Capital for the business. So the support they can get at the research conducted by OGUNCCIMA, sometimes the core one is access to market. And under this access to fund, to tackle that one, you can use various methods like accessing external fund, either from cooperative society, which is in Ogun State. A research was conducted by German Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ, that indicated that 26% of MSME in Ogun State access fund from cooperative society. Then we have this microfinance bank and then commercial bank. But you agree with me that with the MPR, money policy rate of CBN now at over 31%, what can you do? Which type of business that you can do and pay interest of 31% per annum? So in view of that, we can limit MSME access to fund to cooperative society and government intervention.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about the criteria now, Lion OSIYEMI. The criteria that are needed, that the SMEs themselves must prepare before they go into sourcing for fund for their businesses. What are they, must they prepare themselves for, and what are the things that they must get ready before they can go out and look for external sources?
Thank you very much. The SME, before, must be prepared in terms of preparing their, what do we call it? They should be well trained. Okay. Apart from the training, they should have a proposal, the prescription of what they really want to do. And the proposal must be a very good one that will be sellable in the market. And, in terms of grants, getting grants, you can't just wake up and say, I want to get grant. The person you want to get grant from must see that you are ready, and this is not going to be a wasted fund. So most of our SME are not really prepared. They just tell you, I need fund, but you ask them, what do they want to use the fund for? They'll start telling you this. So the proposal, the training is very, very important and very key. And the support, the government alone cannot provide the funding for the SMEs. It has to be in collaboration with the private sector. And the SME as well should be well organized, having a good management system that will go a long way in putting the fund in the right direction. So by doing this, approaching the government or getting a grant from the government the government will be very satisfied and they will be okay, they will be convinced beyond a doubt that this grant is going to the right place.
Okay.
Well, Alhaji OSIYEMI, like you rightly said, the interest rate now stands as 26.75%. So it looks as if the bank doors have been shut against small-scale business owners. And you said, cooperatives as another source. But you also have to put money in the purse of cooperative for you to get a loan. So, I mean, for someone that cannot access funds from cooperative societies, which way to go? I know we have DBA, Development Bank of Nigeria, we have Bank of Agriculture, we have BOI. So what are these banks are doing to assuage this hardship?
You see, I think a Bank of Industry, BOI, their own intervention, they can acquire machinery and equipment for SME. If you have established the business and you are in need of equipment that you don't have capital, maybe capital intensive machinery and equipment, then they can buy, and then they will not pay the SME owner the fund. They will pay directly to the vendor of that equipment, and then the equipment will be supplied, and then they will monitor it. Then for working capital, then the SME can approach, as I said, the cooperative society. Let me tell you this, cooperative society has come to stay in Ogun State. Don't forget that I mentioned that the MSME in the state, when the survey was conducted, over 26% of them are accessing funds from the cooperative society. And even cooperative society now in Ogun State are funding startup. And how do we do that? When a father or a mother of that startup business owner, like maybe a young school leaver that is having an idea and then needs fund to start that business, the father or the mother can then borrow on behalf of that startup owner, startup business owner, and then you get the necessary fund, and then the payment will be made, nothing will happen. You see, so because of that, more people are having access to cooperative society. The only thing that they will just ask us, you too must join and become a member. And the interest rate is 18% reducing balance. You cannot compare with that bank. By the time you pay, maybe in 12 months, you may even use less than 10% to pay interest. So, for that fund. And also government intervention. Recently, His Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Abeokuta, CON, mentioned that he's going to intervene, for the Trade Council in Ogun State, giving them a soft loan of 500 million naira. That kind of intervention also will go a long way to make sure that the people that are really driving the economy, the micro, small, medium enterprises, are accessing funds to continue their daily businesses. Okay,
we discovered that it is only those who are into associations under OGUNCCIMA or this cooperative federation benefit from what the government or what the corporate are doing. So how do those who are outside that net benefit from it? How do they come in? Because they can't do it all alone now, considering the economy and considering what is happening in our nation. How do you bring in more people into your net to enjoy what the government is doing through these two organizations and bodies? So what do you want people to do who wants to come in, new members, new prospects into OGUNCCIMA and into Cooperative Federation? Let me start from Mr. Oshiemi.
Thank you very much. Our association is a voluntary association.
Okay.
And is recognized by the government both at the state and the national level. And like OGUNCCIMA, we have 5 city chambers that is widespread throughout Ogun State. We have Abeokuta Chamber of Commerce, we have Jebu Chamber of Commerce, Remo Chamber of Commerce, Otagbara Chamber of Commerce, Yewa Chamber of Commerce. You can see with this Chamber of Commerce that I've mentioned, we already have a solid grip of the whole state. So you are free to join at any level, depending on where the location of your company. And the main purpose of joining is just for us to know you better. At the chamber level, we all know each other one directly. And even at the cooperative level, they know each other. By the time you start doing your monthly contributions, your shares, your investment, they know you. It's easy for us to recommend And it's easy at that level that, okay, I know Mr. So-so company, this is what he does, and this is where he's going to use the money for. So when it comes to the area of confirming or endorsing such a company, such SME, it's going to be easier. Unlike if you're outside, if at all, if you are going to access funds that you do not belong to any of this body, first and foremost, you need to come together. And now forming a cooperative, if you are up to 10, 15 people of like minds and of like trade, like farmers cooperative, all other cooperatives and all other associations, you can always come together, do your registration with the government, and once that association is registered, it's good to go. And the government knows that with the registration, already there's going to be a board in place, there is going to be a board of trustees or board of directors who are going to be in charge of the association. So with that, the government has some confidence and some level of trust that anything that we do with this association is not going to be a wasted effort. And the government knows who to call on if anything goes wrong. So that is the essence of joining an association or joining a body, because you have a common front, you have a good management team, you have a spokesperson, you have somebody who's going to relate directly with the government, and the government over time will build their confidence and be able to relate directly with the association.
Okay, Alhaji Olalaye, how do you want members, new members, to come into your net? And don't forget that these people are part of those people who vote in the government also. So coming to under your association doesn't mean if they do not come under your association, they won't benefit what is coming through the government. So how do you want people to come into your net, and what are the procedures for coming as a new member?
Well, thank you very much. It is very simple. As said by the president of OGUNCCIMA, 10 people of like mind can come together to form a new cooperative. Or better still, if you are interested, you can find the existing one and join. Let me tell you that in Ogun State, we have over 13,000 registered cooperatives in Ogun State. We have over 400 unions, and we have other IPSs also in the state. So if you want to join the existing one, it is very easy to locate one and join. And if you don't want to join the existing one, you can bring together 9 people of like mind, making 10, and apply for registration of that cooperative society in your locality to the Director of Cooperative Services in Ogun State, the Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives. So it is very simple and easy to do. And every cooperative society registered in Ogun State is a member of Ogun State Cooperative Federation Limited. So once you have that your cooperative registered, automatically that cooperative becomes a member in Ogun State Cooperative Federation Limited and can have access to all the services that have been rendered by Ogun State Cooperative Federation Limited. And cooperative is very simple to run. It is open and voluntary membership. It is democratic in control. So everybody must participate, economic participation. You must bring in your money. Then we also train, just as mentioned by OGUNCCIMA president, if you want to access fund, you cannot just get fund and then sit down with it. So you need training. So we train also education training and information is part of the principle of cooperative. And we also have autonomy and independence. You know, each society is independent of the other. Once you registered, you can stand on your own, do your business according to the registered object. You know, you have your bylaw. So, and then there is also cooperation among cooperatives, where even if society A is in need of one thing or the other from society B, they can easily cooperate together. Also, then concern for community. So that also is an area where I want also to hear about, that we do have concern for community where we operate. Even for non-members, we do something for them. So maybe at the end of the year, we can identify the needy in the community, and then just do something for them to promote the cooperative in that community. So it is very simple to join. And also, government is using other avenues to reach out to non-members of this organization, like the Trade Council that I've just mentioned, like the market women, Like, you know, there was a time the governor was doing something, the state government was doing something like Okowodapo, this and that, you know, to reach out to people also. So I think nobody is left out of the intervention.
So, Lion OSIYEMI, you are the president of OGUNCCIMA, Ogun State Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. So what intervention are you also giving right now to your members?
Yeah, thank you very much. Right now, we are already encouraging our members. Right now, all the 5 city chambers under OGUNCCIMA, one, we all have an existing cooperative at the city chamber level. And apart from that, on regular basis, they are training their program on how to access grants and loan going on in the city chambers. So when we preparing proposals or writing proposal is also very, very feasible within the city chamber. In the nearest time, by next week, Wednesday now, at OGUNCCIMA here, we are trying to launch a one-stop shop where you can have access to ease of doing business in Ogun State. At this one-stop shop, anything you need to know, CAC, regulatory bodies, government agencies, anything that is going to make the ease of doing business in Ogun State is going to be provided at this one-stop shop. It's going to be an office and it's going to be created at OGUNCCIMA very soon. But there's going to be an online program on Wednesday next week, where everybody will be able to come online, ask questions. What do they need? What do they want? Basically, the function of the chamber is to interface between the private sector and the government, which we've been doing. If you have any issue with the government, once you are a member, even if you are not a member, once you come, we look at what is going on. What do you want? How can we come in? And it's easier for us to talk to the government that this is the problem we are having with some of our members. And the government, the ministries have always been very cooperative. They've always been listening to us, and the necessary things are always being put in place. So that is what we are doing right now.
Okay. Well, ALHAJI WASIU, OLALEYE, we also seen cases where people would take loans, particularly from the governments. They won't pay back. They feel it's their own share of the national cake. Anchor Borrowers Program is an example. Many farmers, particularly up north, took these loans, though they claimed flooding affected their plantation. So 2 questions now. So what are you also doing to let people see that when you take loans from government, when you pay back, you're also encouraging them to do more. But when you now take these loans and there's an act of God, there's a natural disaster, for example, those who took for rice plantation and flood happened, swept off their plantation. In that wise, do you still have to pay back, or what are the processes?
Thank you very much. Let me say that even at the cooperative level now, we encourage people to insure that loan. So if you are taking a loan of 10 million naira, insuring it with 1% or 2% of about 200,000 naira will not be much for you. So that when the unexpected happens, there will be something to fall back on. And I'm also aware that even if you are taking all this intervention from government now as a loan, not grant this time around, they will ask one agency to insure that loan, so that if the unexpected happen, that fund will not go down the drain. So, and let me also say that that is why it is very good for the intervention provider, either government at the state level or at the federal level, to deal with association. Association is not a one-man show. So when you are giving them the loan, they will know this is loan, not grant. Right. And it is not a national cake. It is something that you will get and refund. So, and once they call it loan, for every member that are going to benefit from that loan, we know it's loan. At the cooperative level, if Mr. A is borrowing, we ask him to provide 2 sureties So Mr. B and C will stand surety for that loan, and what they are signing is that if Mr. A refuses to pay that money back, we, Mr. B and C, we pay. So that kind of arrangement, that kind of organization will ensure that that loan comes back. When you look at the revolving loan, we've received it before in Ogun State at the cooperative level. So we know this loan, so it should be repaid. Even recently, let me just make this example. It happened in Osun State. The governor gave them a revolving loan of 500 million naira to the cooperative movement in Osun State, even with interest rate of 4% per annum. So they know it's loan, and they are going to refund the capital and the interest in 24 months. So it's loan. So even in Ogun State also now we are interfacing with our responsible ministry, Minister of Community Development and Cooperatives. They are also they are preparing to do something for us. There's going to be a conference in October 23 and 24 with cooperative movement and the ministry. His Excellency is going to declare it open. And if His Excellency intervene that, okay, these people you are in need, we are giving you this as a loan, definitely it must be repaid. It is not a national cake. Yes.
So how do you teach financial management after getting this loan? And we know that some members, after getting this loan, you won't see them at meetings anymore. They become, they just tell you, I'll pay anytime you want me to pay. So how do you manage their finances? How do you manage the time? How do you manage the repayment period for them?
Just as I said, education, training, and information is one major principle among the 7 principles of cooperatives worldwide. And is principle number 5, education, training, and information. Regularly, the Ogun State Cooperative Federation will conduct seminar training for the cooperators in the state. The Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives, the Department of Cooperatives under the Director, Pastor Mustafa, also regularly, at least once in a year, for the existing cooperators, the management team, the committee. And if you are promoting new society in Ogun State today, before the society is being registered, the trustee of that society must go to our cooperative college in Ijeja under the state government to be trained on how to manage credit and how to manage people's fund. So it is compulsory. Without that, they won't get certified.
Okay.
Okay, unlocking funding opportunity for SMEs, discuss here. So, Lion and OSIYEMI, what would be your advice to business owners right now? We know it's very hard to do business. The inflation is surging. What you bought yesterday, the price is different now, and we don't even know when all this will stop.
Yeah, thank you very much. The main advice is for SMEs to come together, form a formidable team, look for how to get grants and loans, both locally from the government and internationally. And in the area of the government should be ready to support SMEs in the area of tax incentive, provision of light, good roads, all necessary day-to-day needs of business owners. By the time the government is doing this, that will reduce the burden of the cost of buying fuel now for a mini producer of even ordinary pure water machine. If you know, I don't think any one of them can meet with the overhead cost right now. If they are to use the generator to produce, you see a lot of companies now going down because of what are the infrastructures that are not in place. So if government can even start with that by putting the necessary infrastructure on ground. That first will reduce the burden and the stress of SMEs going on. And I will still advise more associations and more people should come together, join the chamber movement, join the cooperative, or create a new cooperative by themselves. You know, I told you all these things they are voluntary, and if they are voluntary, you need to mix with people of like minds. It's not compulsory that you come and I don't like Mr. B. Let me and some other people, let us come together. And it's an open door. You know, the door is always open for you to come and join. And you come with what you need and what you want. Because there is always a purpose before you join an association. And once you realize that you can get that from that association, then you know that it is a matter of necessity for you to join them so that you too can benefit and have direct access with the government in getting what you need from the government. Thank you.
Okay, let's talk about the eligibility of SMEs to get funds from maybe the direct investors or the government. What really, some people will say they've been in an association for long, they are not getting the needed grant or fund from the government, and they are in one registered association. But when you go to those who lead or direct the affairs of the association, they will tell you the eligibility of that member is questionable. So let's talk eligibility. What are the things that you see as leaders that will make you not give your members what the government has provided and what will affect their business?
The main thing is active participation. It's not just about joining an association. There are so many members. When if you check our report on yearly basis, we start, if they ask you how many members of OGUNCCIMA, we say, we'll be telling you like 1,000. But when you now say, out of that 1,000, how many people are active? So some people will join our session and go and sit down at home, and they'll be expecting those of you that are running the association to come and be calling them at home that come and do this, come and do that. This one is out. Even if you post something that is going to be useful on the platform, most of them still will not read it. Or even if they read it, they will just look at it that the president is my friend. He's supposed to come and tell me that this is my feed. I should be able to benefit from this. But how many people do you want to go and call at home? Or how many people do you? So, and the purpose of creating platforms or creating awareness, you know, when government wants to do its things, they just invite, oh, this is on grant. And immediately they say this is on grant, and they make the announcement maybe on OGTV or any other means, or online or on the social media. Some people still will not grab the opportunity. So, and in terms of, that is one. Then in terms of the eligibility, an SME now that want to access even a small loan or grant, when you tell somebody, go and bring this, they will tell you it doesn't have he has registered his company, it doesn't have an account. You would now be looking at it that somebody that wants to access a loan or a grant, especially from the foreign partners, they have their own rules, they have their own requirements. If you cannot meet up the requirements, automatically you know you are out of the beneficiaries. So all these things is what we do on regular basis. Okay, let us train, let us inform our members. For you to do this, for you to get this, you need to put this right. For you to do this, you need to do this. So in this area, we are on a regular basis, we work on them. We like to enlighten them and tell them for them to be ready and their status should be active at the association level. Because when you see some people, most of the status is inactive. So somebody who is not active, so some will be paying their annual dues and paying your payment. Yes, they will be paying dues, but despite that, they will not be active. So that's one of the main challenge we are having. And you call for a meeting that you expect to see like 500 people, you'll be seeing 20, 30 people. So a lot of people say, anything you discuss here, come and tell me. Anything you do, you come. You know, it won't be easy for us to come and be calling everybody in their houses. So that's why we all need to be active, to be proactive, so that we can all reap the benefit of what is coming to the association. Thank you.
Okay. Well, our time is fast spent right now. But before we go, ALHAJI WASIU OLALEYE, what's also in it for nano business owners? You know, they could be very unstructured. You know, these small businesses. Are there also funding opportunities for them too?
Of course. As I said, Ogun State government is doing something for them. And I mentioned that just recently His Excellency pronounced that 500 million naira for Trade Council. You know, all these nano, like a Gary seller, they have the association, the pepper seller, they have the association, and they're going to be a beneficiary of this. What I would just happy is that the governor should look also more inward and do more, even beyond this Trade Council. We have OGUNCCIMA, we have OSCOFED, we have other organizations that governor can also call and then organize them for this kind of intervention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Lion NIYI OSIYEMI, the president of OGUNCCIMA. OGUNCCIMA is Ogun State Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture. Of course, thanks for coming to ALHAJI WASIU OLALEYE, President of Ogun State Cooperative Federation. Many thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you for coming on the program.
So that's the show today. Many thanks for watching. New Dawn returns next Monday. Bye for now.
Yeah, thank you.